Oh, hey guys, Boston fan back with another video. This one's a little different than videos I've done in the past. As I may have mentioned on one of my previous videos, I'm not sure. My wife and I agreed that I would get a little bit of a collection allowance since, she does stuff on her own and spends money, and I generally in the past haven't used any of our income for sports cards or collectibles at all. It all comes from things I sell on eBay, or if we get some kind of rebate or tax back or credit card points, that's when I put money in my account to spend. So never anything from our paychecks. So she insisted and insisted and insisted, and I kept saying no, I don't need to do it. And finally she said yes. So I got an allowance. I'm not going to mention how much, but it's a decent amount. Not I think terribly fair. What the hell? I got $100 a month. And so at the end of every month or the beginning of a new month, I think I'm going to do a little show off video of what I was able to pick up and add to my collection with that money. So that's the first installation of my allowance videos. The first one up, this took a little bit of money too from when I sold my extra Fergie Jenkins rookie card. I added Steve Carlton on the 01 Fleer Greats of the Game. Obviously the seller doesn't know about blue tape because this is kind of ruined, but I'll put it in a new. I actually probably put it in a one touch. And I wanted to pick up Steve Carlton because I didn't have his autograph on flat item, which is the stuff that I mostly collect, cards and postcards. I have him on a ball, but I really wanted a card. And so I was able to pick this up for, I think, $27-ish shipped, a little less than that, $25 shipped. I love the Fleer Greats of the Game cards. I wanted a 2000 Fleer Greats of the Game. That's my favorite autograph set ever. But there were just none on eBay. I think the one that was on there was $45. And if you can get a Steve Carlton for around 20, 25, I'm not going to pay 45 for it. So really nice to add him. It's a nice, as you can see, bold signature. So great to add him into the, bulk of my collection. The signed baseball, if I ever get a sports room again, will go up, but nice to have a card signed of him. The next pickup I had was a deal that I really couldn't pass up. It was adding to my Hall of Fame plaque collection, and it is a Burleigh Grimes PSA certified and encapsulated Hall of Fame plaque. I really have to show off my plaque collection. It's probably not the greatest ever, but it's pretty darn solid. And this was $20 shipped. So with tax and stuff, I think came out to like $20.50, which I thought was a tremendous price. Grimes has been on my list for a while because he's generally pretty cheap as an autograph to buy. You can usually find him around $30. So when this popped up for $20, I had literally just agreed on, yes, okay, wife, I will accept money from our account and spend it on myself selfishly. And this popped up and I was like, boom, that's something that I have to get. So he played, obviously, for the Brooklyn Dodgers, and it says, well, he was one of the great spitball pitchers. He won 270 games, lost 212. He had 520 win seasons. He's one of those players that's generally considered a borderline Hall of Famer. His career ERA is, 3.5. So he wasn't a dominant pitcher, but he was a good pitcher. And nice to add that into my collection. Trying to stand it up a little bit. These ones are hard to stand up. There you go. You can't really see his autograph, so we'll just adjust a little bit. So that was really awesome to pick up. A new player to my collection, new Hall of Famer to my collection, and new postcard into my collection. The next one picked up I'm pretty excited about, and it's the 58 Topps All-Star Stan Musial, and it looks like it's in awesome condition. And this was around $20 or so. That corner, I don't know if the focus is a little bit dinged, but the borders look really cool. There's a little edge wear on the top. The color's super bright. I think these all-star cards in 58 are just so cool. And this is actually Stan Musial's first Topps card. And if anyone remembers back to the early 90s, Beckett used to delineate players' first Topps cards as kind of a way of, I don't know, maybe making them extra collectible, making you think you had a rookie when you didn't. I remember having the 88 Topps Greg Maddux, and that was considered his first Topps card because the Topps Traded, of course, wasn't released in packs. So going by Beckett's not early 90s lineage or verbiage, I have Stan Musial's first Topps card. That's a rookie, right? 1958, 5 years away from the end of his career. But all jokes aside, that's an awesome card. I'm going to submit that for grading at some point because I think that'll get a 3, 4, or 4. And then the last thing I bought this month was a Sandy Koufax 1966 Topps card. It's been on my list for a while. I kind of feel like I'm going to do a player run. This was particularly cheap. It's not in the greatest condition, so I may upgrade at some point. There's a slight bit of paper loss. In the picture, I could see that, but couldn't tell if it was paper loss, but I think it is. And then there's some edge wear. I don't know if you can see it there. It showed up in a picture, but I didn't know that it was as raised as it is, and there's a little bit there and a little bit there. So overall, I'm glad I picked up the card. I got it at a great price, $25 or so. I think all of this was about $25. Yeah, everything was $25, or Grimes was a little bit less. So I had $8 left over from the allowance. I had also bought a Duke Snider 59 Topps card that got mangled in the mail, unfortunately. So I'm getting a refund on that. That would cap out the week. So, you know, 2 of his rookie can go for $600 or so. That's a little bit high on my price list, but the others are relatively affordable. 57, you know, the other 50 cards might be a bit expensive. But yeah, that's what I did with my first month's allowance. And I'm calling it an allowance because, again, I don't think I really need it, but if the wife's pushing me to spend more on my hobby, who the hell am I to argue? I'd be an idiot not to say yes. And so I relented. And literally now it's beginning of May, I'm already trying to think, okay, what do I want to add? And do I want to add more Hall of Fame plaques? Do I need to go vintage? I've got 1,000 different eBay items queued up on my watch list, trying to figure out, you know, what direction do I want to go next? But this was April's editions. Just wanted to show them off. I'm going to do the series. I don't know that a lot of people are going to watch it, but if you're interested in collecting and following my collection, these are 4 new editions. I think they're really cool. I'm really glad to add each one. Each is a unique piece to my collection, be it an autograph plaque or a card or these vintage cards that I just think are either iconic or just look amazing. So that's that. I'll post another one of these videos probably early June with whatever I decide to pick up in May. So until then, I'll pump out more TTM content as returns come back in. And if I can think of any other kind of videos to post, I'm going to post them. Right now, surprisingly, when I did that SGC reveal, I've gotten nearly 2,000 views on it. So I'm honestly going to follow that and do another submission. I'm going to find some cards to submit. I'll submit this Musial. I have a Ripken rookie card I might want to submit. I have a 61 Koufax that I'm going to take a look at, see if that deserves submitting. And generally, just see if there's anything else that deserves a 2 or a 3 that might look good in a holder. People seem to like those reveals, so I'm going to, see if I can do it again. But anyway, this is my allowance day. Thank you as always for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.